You don't need a perfect stitch to bind your journals to make them sturdy and workable. I'm going to show you today how you can use fun, messy scraps from your desk and make some cute journals. Hi everyone, it's Caroline. Welcome. Today I'm answering a question from Diana. This was from 2 videos ago, and she had 2 questions. One was a little bit of a struggle with a pamphlet stitch, and this is my Give a Scrap tiny scrappy journal, and I made 2 quick scrappy signatures. This one has the pamphlet stitch, but it's only 2 holes. I will show you the 3 in a similar size. I also mentioned that I had my Happy Mail journal was like a flow style, and this is one that I made before I had my channel using embroidery floss, and all it is, it's just bound around the journal to keep all kinds of scrappy things that I can carry with me and reach for when I'm making journals. This is my latest heart-shaped one, and I used a binding method that is a hinge. I also used the same method in this journal, which is my True Trash journal style, and in here it's all bound with the hinge and then wrapped around with lace. I'm going to use from scraps from this pile. They are just the size that I found them. This is my latest trash item. I'm going to use, this is dollar store string. I use this one to bind. It's longer and it's got it does have a sharp end, and you don't need a sharp end, but when I'm making small journals, I feel that I don't always need an awl, which is something that I use this a lot too. If I have cardboard or just several layers, we use those. I have some, this is from Amazon in a package, waxed thread. You could use that. And I also have some quilting cotton, and I've been using this for binding and decorating, whatever you want to do. I've got some rulers, my scissors, the usual supplies, but that's how simple it is. And I'm going to start with my box. I don't have a strict routine. I do my freestyle journal making. This is going to be a medium size. I'm going to use this one as my flow journal because it does have the sturdy paper. And I won't decorate this. I'm just going to show how I prepare it. I suppose I could put some kind of decor on the front of it. And that's it there. That's the binding, and I can reinforce that. I probably will. I'm going to take from the scraps here, and I also have some pretty papers from the dollar store, so I'll use those. I'm going to reinforce the inside with the paper that I just took out. I'm using the scraps that came off of this box. I might as well continue that theme, and trimmed off the edges so that it fits within the seams, so that it opens. So this will make a really fun little flow journal. You can stop there and keep it very, very plain and simple. I will decorate. I think that'll be fun. Going to smear the glue all over the front. trimmed off the end of that one. I'm going to put this in the middle. A little bit of green will show, that is fine. You can always add some tape. I thought it'd be fun to pretty it up just to demonstrate, get some kind of a start. I'm going to put some tape in there right away. Also, some inexpensive, whenever you have masking tape, that's perfect for this. You could use your pretty washi tape. I'm keeping this very plain and simple, and because this is a flow style journal. That's what I call it. I'm not going to do it today, but I have decided, as I was putting the tape down, I will sew with my sewing machine around, and then on the inside here I will add some fabric or some paper. I'm not going to do that now because I really just want to show how I make the flow journal. I'll make 2 signatures using scraps. I just need to decide, this is going to be a flow journal like this. I'm going to have different pages in it, just like my Happy Mail journal. All I'm doing is making sure that when my journal closes, my pages, they could hang out a little bit. They don't have to. I think that will be a good, yeah, that'll be a good size right here. This will be my template. I'm going to use all of the scraps that I can, fold them in a different way so that I can add them. And once I have it made, I'll be able to see how they fit in the journal. These ones. So this will be a flow style binding in a journal that can be in a junk journal or an art journal. Whereas my flow style journal that I keep for just for keeping papers to use in journals, that's also a flow style binding, but I use that one for papers to construct or to embellish, to work on different decorative papers that way. So I will fold. They're going to be different sizes. Doesn't matter. It's all scrappy and messy and fun. 1, 2, I'll do 5 each. Be a good start. I can add to this because an old map. I'm going to use some of this too. I can make some pockets coming up like this. Let's use this one. I have an old envelope. Oh, I have a letter in it. Okay, I didn't even know that was there. I can use that too. And just to show how I operate, I just did some quick folds here to make sure my paper, my signature isn't hanging over. And giving it some folds and gluing it down right away. So that's a signature, or a page or signature, yeah. And I'm using this is old, forgotten scrapbook paper. I also did some rounding of my edges, some of my edges. I could go back and do all that. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 pages. That's good enough. 3 signatures. Might as well keep it going. More scraps. I'm going to use all the scraps. I'm going to keep my lines in the right orientation. Use my mark making paper that I've been tearing away from. Now I have my 3 signatures, and I can build on that because it's a flow style binding, which requires no stitching. I'll do 3, and then I'll do 3 of those. No measuring. I am going by feel and sight, and if it's wrong, it's wrong. I don't worry about that. I don't have a formula. This is how I do it. You could notch out the tops here so the cording doesn't dig in. If you want to decorate before you add your string, you can definitely do that. I decided I'm going to leave the trashy packaging the way it is, and then I can decorate the inside of my journal, cover up the plain cardboard. I'm doing a simple knot up at the top. If you wanted to take the extra time, if you have your eyelets, you can make holes at the bottom and the top and make eyelets to secure your string. But you don't have to do that. If you haven't done this before and you're making eyelets, you're going to have to allow for, so your eyelets will be down enough from the top and the bottom. So that means your signature then will have to fit within those eyelets. That's one thing to consider. So I left these long so that I could add some decorations, some beads, maybe leave them. I can cut them after. That's as easy as it is. And then just take your, I'll take this one first and rearrange them the way you want, whatever you'd like to do. And you can, the beauty of this style is that you can take it out if you change your mind and say, oh, I really want to round my corners. And some of these stick out, but I might add some lace on the edge. And I like to see things peeking out. I'll be adding to this messy, quirky. Oh, as this fills up, it gets tighter. If you change your mind about your paper, that you don't like it or it doesn't fit with, decide to make it a themed journal, and you can switch them out, take it out. Lots of room in here. That's how I do the flow journal. If these get loose, you can tighten them up. You can cut them off and replace them too. It's just wonderful. You have so many options. Just a great way to have a journal. Fill it with some sketch paper if you want to do some watercolor paper. Take it along. Like I said, it's going to shift. It's going to change as you fill it up. It's really fun. Another thing I wanted to share that I have in my scrappy flow journal, the one that I use to harvest from. You can take a piece of coordinating or a separate string, a separate thread. Put your thread through here in the middle, and by tying it together like this, that helps to keep these strings from moving. Put it down here in the middle like that. Just put a bow on it. The more thread, the better. Now I'm going to do a small one signature pamphlet stitch, and I'm going to use this letter. I want to keep this tiny or small, so I will use all of it. This is going to be small. Happy Mail, this was from Laura. I'm going to use the mermaid. Use your scraps. And this was some painting that I did one night on one of my pages of... And then, and this could be my cover here. This looking for the right height. Used a lot of the scraps, and I will use this. This is very sturdy paper. I could double it up and make my pocket. The perfect size. That'll be the right size. It's not as tiny as I thought it would be. That's okay. It'll get a makeover. This is just for demonstration today. But I wanted to start with something that you could actually see. So that's the cover. For my pamphlet stitch, I only use clips and pins if it's very thick and I want to make it a lot more cleaner looking. But I will show you, I just used some clips. These are paper, not paper, these are clothespins. The inside doesn't shift. Then what I'm going to do is I will use my awl for demonstration. You've all seen this before a million times. Kinds of different needles. I have plastic ones in here, they're darning needles. And the same principle. It's 3, I always go 3, and it's not a very precise. So 1, 2, 3, right about there. This, I feel this is thin enough that I could use my needle has a bit of a point on it. Sometimes I have a shorter one that's a darning needle. And sometimes I use that, but I like this one, it's longer for my hands. So that's three lengths. I'm not making a template. I'm going to look at the middle and I'm just going to go through with my awl. 1, 2, 3. And I want my thread on the outside, so I'll go with my needle here. Hold on to it. That way and down in the middle. There I am there. Come back this way. I mean, this is how I do it. If there's a different way. And then back through the middle. Just fiddle with it till you have it the right length. 3-hole pamphlet stitch, that's how I do it. For this kind of journal, it's sturdy enough. I haven't had any journals fall apart with my willy-nilly way. You can choose to put glue here if you want. And I have to tell you that whenever I do my pamphlet stitch, sometimes it's a 2-hole, sometimes it's 3. If it's a really tall one, I've done it where there's 5, and they're always different. I don't have a formula. I'm just gonna flip my pages. I like to do that. It just relaxes the binding. It's a messy, scrappy journal. This is the aesthetic that I like. I love to come in and doodle, use all my fun experimental papers. It's tight, it's good. The binding is secure and easy to work. This is for me, and I have not had a problem playing in my journals that I've made where I just do it really quick. So that's the quick one of the pamphlet stitch. I'm going to do a quick hinge journal. I'm just bringing my scraps that I have left. This is what I'm going to use for the hinge journal. I'm going to use up what I had. My old ledger. Maybe that's what I'll use for my hinges. This is a very arbitrary one also. There is no formula. You figure out the size that you want. Probably half of this size because I'm going to make it a tiny journal, even smaller than this one. Tiny journal. I think it'll be this size. We'll start with a hinge. Fold it in half. I mean, it's the easiest thing. It's so fun to do too. Once I start making these, it's hard to stop. And then you want to make sure that your hinge is within the top and the bottom of your page. So they might be a little bit different because my pages aren't going to be all the exact same size. And then it's just glue. I'm going to glue this one here. Like that. The adventure and the surprise for me is when I make these, what's this going to look like? I mean, these are going to be all different sizes. The fun surprise is at the end. Like my magazine journals, what is it going to look like? On the hinge, I'm making this up as we go. This is how I do the hinge. It's going to be scrappy. There's a page, there's a page. Something with this, another little hinge. And maybe I'll do it like that. Little pieces of paper, they don't need a big hinge on them. I will link I'll link all the journals that I made. Oh, I could do this all day. I love making these. And then this could be in here. Little flippy-doo. I'm using up the scraps right here. Let's see, this one here. Is that right? Let's see. I'm going to make sure this turns. And this won't turn because I want to show this to you. Because my hinge extended past the shorter page, this page won't turn. So that is something to keep in mind. I'm going to lift it up before it dries and cut it off there. It's fun to see how you can fix your mistakes too. And it doesn't matter that my hinge now is, but like that. So that turns, that turns, that turns. You just want to make sure your pages are turning. So the next one, now that I know this is longer, yes, I was going to use this one. Flimsy is okay. I'm just going to trim this off right now. That. I'm just going to put that there. It's a bit sticky. That's the same size. It's a little bit off. Yes, if your glue oozes, then that's also something that you want to watch out, because it'll glue your other pages together. So you can do a one flat page, you can do a folded page. I'm going to do this one. Well, I will have new journals to work on. I just feel like giving this one a little bit of a rounded corner. Let's go like that. And you can see here, really close, it's not, I did not put these all straight together. So that folded page, got that page. And if you have some flimsy connections, you can go back in with your tape, your washi tape. Here's a little bit of a fold out. This one here needs a little more. That was a little reinforcement. Use your washi tape, use fabric, however you want this to be. Hinge. That could be a fold out. This might tear. You know what? I'll tear it because it's very fragile. I'll tear it like that. Let's do a different, the last of my scrapbook paper, the page, and I will take that, trim it here. You can put your hinge on the inside too. I'm just doing it on the outside. Have fun with it. So many different ways to do this. There's 16 pages. And I can add flips and different other kind of scraps I have. I might as well use them all. Make this page smaller, but I won't tear it off. I'm going to keep it like this, and this can be on here too, but I want to keep my flip, so I'm going to put my hinge here, and then this will flip inside. That'll go like that, and then I have my page. Okay, just took me a second to figure that out. When you're doing your hinge binding, realize that you're going to lose some of whatever image is on your page. And so if it's something that's important, then you want to put your page on top of the hinge and keep it like that. Scrappy junk journal for me doesn't matter. That's not what I'm keeping, so I'm going to flip this out, or flip it in, and then put my glue on this part of the hinge. Oh, this is going to be a fun scrappy, ultra scrappy. Maybe I'm going to call it my ultra scrappy bindings. Maybe. We'll see. And I'm going to see what else I have. I'd like to use up some more. This is my paper pad from the dollar store. I'm using that also in my dollar store journal. Oh, I could use this. This is a bit too big for what I want to do. Fix it till you have it the way you want to. You know, this is a hobby. This is fun. This is relaxing. It's an adventure. I like to see how I can make things work with my scraps. It doesn't matter. It didn't cost anything. I just had to throw that out there. Okay, so this here, let's do it like that. And once I start working in here, if this is too much and I just don't want it, I can change it. And now that I'm looking at it, and that's the fun about playing with these things, is I can change this. Summer, no, I want to keep summer, don't I? A little change in my execution here. I'm going to use this to fill in this piece of paper so that I can use the glue that's right here. Summer. I'm going to fold that up like that. And then I'll fold this in. A little more interactive. That's fun. I'm going to put some fabric here as the wraparound, which will be the end of this little journal, my little art journal, junk journal. And I will use this as part of my cover or interactive element I'll add to this. Have no idea what it will be, but I'll have to be careful because this flips up. So what I want to do is keep that up like that. I'm going to do some fabric here to wrap around to hide all this. And I'm going to use my scraps. I'll use this one. All these will get used. A little bit of the pink on there. Put it like that. That'll be the wraparound. You can do some tape. Super scrappy. I'm going to fold this all the way around. I can add some mark making. I can add some lace, some stamping, just so that your glue doesn't show. Control your threads how you like them. I'm going to leave it there because I'll use it as a little cluster. I think maybe what I'll do is use this too. Just layer it up, layer on layer. Make it up as you go. What's fun about having these little journals for me is I can come into my room in between different things that are happening or at night before I go to bed and take one of my journals and just start playing in it. That's what I love about these. They're just handy, they're available. The scrappy pages, the binding that is a hinge binding, that turned out so cute. The other thing I noticed when I was flipping it over is that today is actually the 24th of August when I'm making this video. So that's pretty appropriate. Whether it stays there or not, I just thought that was a fun thing that happened. So this is all hinged. Single pages, little scrappy pages. I started from the bottom and worked my way to the front. Could go any way you like. Used scrap paper for hinges. And this is going to look so different when I'm done. Here's the back of it. This is what I have left from the scraps that I took out. I'm going to use them up. I like to see how I can turn them into something different. That is a really fun adventure challenge for me. Gives me that dopamine hit, I have to say. Hope you found this helpful, Diana. with the different bindings. Very simple pamphlet stitch binding. Here we are. All different sizes. This one here is I'm calling it the flow style, where you can take your pages in and out. Fun journal to work on. Different ways you can use your papers, turn them into some fun memory scrapbooks, junk journal, art journals, sketchbooks. It's anything you want it to be. Thank you for joining me. Be adventurous and stay fresh. I will see you in the next video.